wanted to come on here to show you what I'm learning at Open Studio Jazz. I'm doing the bebop class with Chris Parks, and we're going over rhythm changes. So 1 to 6, 2 to the 5, right? And right now we were learning an outline. So the 1 to the 6 could be B flat. It's B flat major, but only up to the 7, right? And then the C minor. C minor to F7, we do F7 scale. And they're both in the B flat major scale. Or you can do B flat over the 1-6-2-5. Or you can do F7. Let me try that again. Right? And then there's like little things that we could do that in Barry's world, as Chris Park says it. Barry would learn the scale. We'll do F7. We'll do he would learn the scale up and only up to the 7, not to the root. Then he would do, once you learn that, you learn it in thirds. And then when you go up, go down. Right? And then after thirds, you do triads. You know, back. Yeah, I need to work on going back down. And after that, after the triads, you learn what Barry calls chords. Some people call arpeggios. Some people call them, I call them 7th chords, but it's going up chords. Right, then after that, you do, I haven't really practiced this much, but you do a chromatic from above. So you go in thirds first. Right, and then backwards. And this one's a little bit tougher for me. And you do the same thing with triads. Then backwards. Let's see if I can do it. See, I think I got it all. I'm not sure. And you do the same thing with the chords. But with the chords, I think they said in Barry's world, he would do more of an 8th note triplet, or not 8th note triplet, but like start on the up on the and then do like a 16 triplet. So it'd be like a. And then backwards, let's see, I don't think I can do this one, but I'll try. See. See. Ah. Something like that. I need to practice those. And that's the thing, is we need to practice those over and over and over so that we get it in our hands and it should come natural. Because you could use any of those little things to create a solo. And then there was another thing that they talk about is doing a pivot. So when you do a pivot, it's so like that F7. You have F7, but what you do is you keep the F and you move all the other notes down an octave. So it's like this. And then you need to also practice those going up. Let's see if I can do this one. So yeah, something like that. And then you can even get the idea of doing, hey, let's do this. Let's do a chromatic from above. And then you can do like on the end, 1. You know? You know, so I'm doing that pivot from the F7 and it's going down the scale. You know, do something like that. Do it on the third. So that's kind of like using the B flat scale or B flat major, but I'm doing over the F7 as well. So the line that I came up with was I did the B flat major, you know, B flat major, but I went up to the 9th. Then I pivot the chord, put the G minor 7, going on the B flat. Then I did like 16th triplets. Let me show you how I do that. So that's like little ideas that you come up with, and then I could go. You know, just coming up with like little ideas like that. Another thing that I learned today was a lot of different rules for like chromatic. That's why you could also play the F7 scale. That's the B flat major scale, but the reason why we think of the F7 scale is because there's little rules at Barry Harris, descending chromatic rules, which there's like a bunch of them. There's a chromatic between the 1 and the flat 7. Yeah, I might do a different video and talk about that. But the line that we learned today, or the line that I learned today, was we went up the 4th. No, we went to the 5th. We did and that was the line. And then we did something like that. And so with that little rule, we did a chromatic from the 1 to the flat 7. And that's usually when so one rule, I'll go over the rules on a different video, but one rule is if you start on a even number of the chord, and this is just thinking of like the F7. I mean, because I know the left hand is playing something different. But when you think of it like, so if you're starting with a 1, you can go up I could go to wherever. So with that one, I'm starting on the 1. So that rule is you would have one chromatic between the 1 and the 7, or you would do three chromatics if you start like on the 3rd or the 5th. And I think you could also you might be able to do 3 chromatics even if you start on the 1. I would think, because I mean you could probably go. So yeah. But the line that we learned, let me do it again. If I want to go back to the D, I know it goes to D minor on rhythm changes. So one more time. Let me do it. I didn't do that one right, but I changed it. So yeah, so the thing is, describing like little things, you know, like you're going up the scale. But I also did one where I did so I did that, and in the class we call this a nat back, where we go on one and we do like chromatic down back to the note. So it was one of the students came up with it, so we call it a nat back. So it's so I'm gonna do the same thing, just to add the nat back in the beginning. Oh, that wasn't it. Let's see. And there was another thing that they had showed that I kind of liked was let's see. Something like that. It was like a quick. Let me try that again. Oh, you can do that, yeah. Oh yeah, something like that. So that's what I'm kind of learning. I'll try to talk about those other rules once I get a more grasp of those rules. I'll come back and talk to them. But one thing that really made me change my thinking was those pivots, and then now I'm trying to have to add like those, you know, those chromatics from above, or do a. So yeah. So, as they say, happy practicing. I'll see you guys.